Hello, everybody. My name is Kagan, and this is my nearly ultimate WebSocket guide for VTuber Plus, Part 7. We're going to be indexing our food, so food is one of those options that we have in VTuber Plus. Get a piece of food and eat it. So chat can feed us, so we stay nice and energized. Uh, let's start with looking over the WebSocket command because it is a bit more complex than everything else we've done so far. Uh, as you can see, we have 3 parameters now. We start with the VTP food, colon, the item index, the custom index, and then the damage over there. Let's go over each one of these one at a time. So the item index is all the indexes are pretty easy to find. Go down over there to the rewards panel in your lower right of VTuber Plus, and it'll open up that big screen. But we only really need these 3 items right there. So reward, we can choose a food, and we do that. It'll change the second drop down to our list of food if we expand that. See, we've got the apple in the 0 spot because remember, indexes start at 0 in VTuber Plus, not 1. So the apple is index 0. So if we wanted to feed ourselves an apple, we'd put 0 in the item index. 1 is the banana. 2 is the cookie, and etc., 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 etc. But the food, the drop, and the throw indexes have an extra an extra number that you can use. And that would be this -1 spot. For food, if you put -1 in this first parameter, it will give you a random default item. So from the cookie, the pizza, etc., etc., from this default list of items, it will not choose any of your custom items down in number 7. It will only choose from this first set. But if you wanted to have a random item from either your default item list or default food list here and your custom list, you want to choose 6 here. So 6 will choose an item from here and from the custom list. It'll combine the lists and it will just it will just feed you a random one from either one. But if you only want custom items, or you want a specific custom item, you need to put 7 in the first parameter. And to see our custom item index, which is the second parameter, we choose custom only in this list. And then that third drop down box will activate, and you can see all your custom items if you have custom items. If you don't have custom items, you need to go add some to do this. So just like the item index, a -1 will choose a random item only from this list. So a random custom item only. So if you wanted to do a random custom item, your first parameter needs to be 7, or was it 6? Whatever I said. You know what I said. Needs to choose the custom item index here, and then here you choose -1 for random custom item only. And of course, you have your list of custom items, but it's important to know how this list populates. How does this list get filled out? Because if you add an item, is it going to bump ones down? Is it going to reorder your thing in case you wanted a redeem that only feeds you a giant bag of chips? Or did you want, or if you add an item, did it suddenly feed you, a different redeem that was special? Well, as you'll probably note, if you look at all this, these are all in alphabetical order. So I start all my these are all based on the file name. So 1 second. There we go. So this is my food item folder with all my items in it. All of these ones I've made. So I start everything with the same thing, food, so I keep myself organized. And then I put a number. VTuber Plus orders things by alphabetically, except it does not keep numerical things in mind. So 0, 1, 2. If you added a 10 item, it goes 0, 1, 10, 2. That's why you see me starting all numbers with zeros. So start your file names with all the same thing and then a number. So if you're planning on having more than 10 items, start it with a 0, then a 1, or a 0 and then the first number. If you're planning on having more than 100 items, which would, I can see myself eventually having that someday for my thrown items, but you'll still want to start with 2 zeros so that the alphabetization keeps it all in order. You're not getting 1, 10, 11, 12, 2, 3. So yeah, that's how you keep your indexed lists for food items in order. Drop items and thrown items are slightly more complex, and I'll cover that in the next video. But this is the food thing, and that's how you get specific or random custom items. We have one more parameter to go. That is the damage. This is when you eat the item. If you have, like, you put 10, when you eat the item, it will do 10 damage to you. It's a spicy meatball or whatever the heck. If you put a negative number in the damage, when you eat it, it will heal you instead. This goes the same for drop items and food items. Negative values in damage instead heal. So going through it, we have the item index, the custom index, and the damage. And yeah, that covers that. The next video will cover thrown and dropped items at the same time. So we're going back to multiple WebSocket commands in one, but that's mostly because those two are very similar in how they are. There's a bit of different stuff, and I will cover this. But if you can understand this, how this works, how the index is populated, you'll do fine with the throw and drop indexes. But yeah, thank you for checking this video out, and I will see you in the next one.